Hey guys, it's Jordan here again. Today I was going to do a quick little review on this phone here. It's kind of an older phone. It's a 2022 Motorola Edge Plus, but I don't want to review the phone on its merits of actually like being a phone because I already have an iPhone, my daily driver phone, the 14 Pro Max. So I wasn't really in the market for a new phone, but I did want to get a phone that was going to be able to emulate games. So that's what I want to talk about today. Video game emulation on Android in particular. Why I got this particular device opposed to like a retro gaming handheld and how it's been going for me so far, as well as some accessories and things like that that I've gotten to kind of amplify the experience, in addition to how much I paid for it. So first, let's start off discussing why I got it over like other retro gaming handhelds. First of all, before I get started, I wanted to say I got this whole idea for the video, in addition to getting this phone in the first place, from a YouTube channel called ETA Prime. So check them out because they do all content around video game emulation, as well as reviews of actual portable handheld and things like that, which I won't be getting into today. Why I decided to get this phone? Let's get into that. Long story short, I have been thinking about getting a retro gaming handheld system for about a year now. The best one at the time of me recording this that would have been perfect for me would have been the Retroid Pocket 5 or the Retroid Flip 2. Both of those are pretty good right now. They're floating around $200 to $250, and they can emulate up to about PS2, a little bit of Switch, GameCube, Wii, DS, and all those other different consoles that I enjoy. So I was definitely thinking about getting one of those. I put it on my Christmas wish list, but I didn't get it. I just had continued considering it, but I never actually went and pulled the trigger, you know. Another reason I hadn't really considered pulling the trigger yet is because I also have this, the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7. This is a fairly competent device here. It can actually emulate Dolphin as well as anything before GameCube pretty well. I've played like Mario 1000 Year Door as well as Super Mario Sunshine on here, and they have both done incredibly well. So I absolutely love this tablet. That on top of the fact that I already have a gaming laptop, Xbox Series S, PS4, I just didn't really see the immediate need to get one. But then I saw the ETA Prime video where he bought this exact phone, the Motorola Edge Plus 2022, and he kind of set it up as like a portable mobile gaming setup, which actually attracted me a lot because, as you can see, the tablet, you know, I can take it on the go on an airplane or something like that, but it's not really all that small compared to like a cell phone. So that alone made it a little bit more enticing for me, but allowed me to go a step further. So like I said, the Retroid Pocket 5 and the Flip 2 both cost around $200 to $250, right? They both use the Snapdragon 865 processor, which ironically the Samsung device uses as well. So for me, I kind of thought it would be silly to go and get another phone that had the same processor as the Retroid Pocket and the Samsung tablet. So it got me thinking, what if I could get a phone that was more powerful than the Snapdragon 865 for cheaper than it would cost me to get a Retroid Pocket 5? And luckily, ETA Prime made that video because I went out and found this Motorola Edge Plus 2022 for $85 on eBay. And this is actually the 12 gig of RAM version, which is the most powerful version, which I didn't even realize that. I just kind of ordered it because it was a good price. He didn't mention how much RAM was in it whenever I purchased it, but I'll take the extra RAM. Like, that's absolutely fantastic. Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 is faster than the 865. People have complained about battery life and heat issues, which we'll get into a little bit more later in this video. But regardless, it's a faster and better performing chipset than the 865. So I felt like I was getting a pretty good deal at less than half the price of the Retroid Pocket 5, being able to get a phone that would be more powerful and be able to do a little bit better at emulating some of these games. And just to take it a step further, I went ahead and got this 8BitDo controller to go with it, to where I can essentially just do it live right here. Plug it right into the controller, and now I pretty much have my own gaming handheld for much less. So total price on this probably $140, but the performance on it is going to be something that you would get for maybe 200 plus, which is absolutely fantastic. You can emulate, I haven't tried any Switch games, but allegedly you could emulate some light Switch games. I have done PS2, GameCube, as well as PSP, and pretty much anything under that is going to work as well. I've also done Wii, Rayman Legends on the Wii. That's the only game I've played so far. Actually, Rayman Origins. All of those run pretty flawlessly. We'll talk more about that in a second. But yeah, this setup right here, absolutely phenomenal. Shout out to ETA Prime for that. And the coolest thing about these Motorola phones is they have a feature very similar to Samsung's DeX feature. So you can actually connect it directly to a TV or a computer monitor and play the games like that as well. I don't have to have it in handheld mode. I could have it in docked mode too if I want. And the cool thing about the 8-bit DO controller is since it's Bluetooth and not USB connection, I can actually still use this. So if I'm on the go or somewhere, if I travel, I can still plug this phone directly into a TV using a USB hub or USB-C to HDMI, and I can still use this controller to pretty much have my own portable gaming system that can play PS2, all those different emulated titles fairly easily. So all those reasons alone, I think it was a great choice, and anyone else who's considering doing it, I would definitely do it. It's not that hard to get set up. I think a lot of, and I'm not trying to like talk mess about any YouTubers that make content around portable gaming handhelds, but a lot of them try and deter folks from just emulating on an Android phone. And I think that's because their channels are like kind of reliant on making content about these portable handhelds and getting sponsorships and getting devices sent to them and stuff like that. But if you're just starting out or you just want to get something that's really good for like the best price, it's gonna be one of these. The gaming handhelds, the portable ones, they kind of have a tax on them for good reason, but this is going to perform just as well. And the only thing you really have to do is just get yourself a controller. And the other cool thing is this also works with Xbox controllers, PlayStation controllers. I just chose to get one of these so that I could literally hold it like it was a gaming handheld, which is the purpose of me getting this phone. So yeah, 10 out of 10 on that front. Now to talk a little bit about the phone and the problems with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 and all that stuff. To be frank with you, I've only had this phone for about 4 days. I haven't noticed it get really hot, but I also haven't played anything for more than an hour. I pretty much bought this thing for like a stopgap type deal. So like if I'm in transit, if I'm just sitting on the couch, I'll play it for a little bit, but I've never really like went crazy on this. The games I've played so far have been like Splinter Cell for the GameCube, SMT3 Nocturne on the PS2, Final Fantasy X on the PS2, Rayman Origins like I mentioned earlier. I just got Need for Speed Underground 2. I've played, like I said, all those different emulators and all those different games so far. The only game I've had a serious issue with that I just would consider to be like unplayable would be like NFL Street 3. I haven't tested a huge litany of games yet, so I can't like tell you exactly what games work and which ones don't. But for now, the games that I have played outside of NFL Street have all played flawlessly. I don't really care too much about upscaling, but the highest I've ever went is 3x. I try to keep it around 2x or 3x. It does look absolutely phenomenal on the screen, but I just personally thought the games looked good the way they were. Having them upscaled is cool too. So like I said, I keep it at 2 or 3 now that I've like messed with that setting. But I see it like some YouTubers say like, oh, I was able to crank it up to 10x. And I was like, oh, I don't really want to do all that. I think 2x, 3x is just fine. Those people are kind of like testing like max performance speeds. I just want to see like what's playable, what's enjoyable. And that's why I can like confidently say NFL Street 3 was like not enjoyable. During the actual gameplay portions, it was dropping to like 35, 40 frames per second. The music was like slowing down and getting choppy as a result. The gameplay was slow and choppy. But then you would go and pick a play and it would be back to 60. So it was not what I would consider to be playable at all. As far as the phone getting hot, haven't really noticed that at all. The phone does get a little bit warm for sure, but I guess I just haven't played for an extended amount of time for it to get seriously hot. In the ETA Prime video, he did recommend getting like a cooler for the phone. I did not do that, but if it does become a problem in the future, I might get one, but I haven't seen that really being an issue. And the last thing, the battery life. Let's talk about the battery life, because the people who have complained about the battery life, I would say probably would most likely be people who were actually trying to use the phone as a daily driver. The thing about buying this phone like this for the purpose that I purchased it for, it's not going to be connected to cellular at any point, and cellular is a huge battery drain. This phone also comes with a 144 hertz display. No retro games, especially not the ones that I'm playing, would possibly benefit from 144 hertz refresh rate. So the first thing that I did when I got this phone was I turned it down to 60 hertz, and that hasn't changed anything with my gaming experience whatsoever. Turning down the refresh rate, not having the cellular connected, has made it to where this battery, I mean, easily lasts all day. When you're playing a game, obviously it drains the battery faster, but I think I charged this phone like yesterday morning or something like that, and it lasted me pretty much all day yesterday, most of the day today. So with 60 hertz refresh rate and cellular, the battery is totally fine. It's not an issue whatsoever. I could see how it could be an issue if it was like 5G connection being connected to this phone. If I was getting notifications from all these different social medias, like all these different push notifications, I could see the battery being much worse. But for the use case that I'm using it for, it has been absolutely not an issue at all. And like I said earlier, this phone is presumably used. It honestly came in pristine condition. It looked like it hadn't been used when I got it, but it was a pre-owned phone. So I'm assuming that someone had used this before, and the battery is still just fine. So I'm cool with the battery personally. So yeah, I think I've discussed everything I want to discuss. To wrap it up, is this phone better than the Retroid Pocket 5? The answer is it depends, but the easier answer is yes. It's a better device. It costs more. I believe this thing was like $1,000 when it came out. This was considered a flagship smartphone. The Retroid Pocket 5 is a great device, and if you're just looking for something that's all in one, already put together, you don't have to buy an extra piece to make it into something, then sure, yeah, it's still a great option. But this is going to be faster. The screen is obviously a higher resolution, and it's a bigger screen. It's kind of a no-brainer at that point. Once you slot it into actual controller, you're good to go. And then also it's a little bit more compact as well. Obviously you have to have two pieces if you want to operate it like this, but the fact that you only just have to have this little phone with you, and if you just have like a controller sitting around somewhere, you can just plug this right into the TV and use one of your controllers. It's technically a smaller device by itself. Now once it's plugged into here, obviously it's a little bit bigger, and this is what you're going to like be holding and using all the time. But at the end of the day, yes, I would say that this was overall a better choice than going out and buying like a retro handheld. If I wanted to pay the same amount, $150 for a retro handheld, I might be able to get the Retroid Pocket 4, I think. Something like that is around $150 or $159, and it's significantly slower than this. Doesn't have the Snapdragon 865. So with that being said, I mean, unless you want to pay the $250, I guess for convenience, that would be smart. But I think overall, getting an older Android phone, this one probably being the cheapest Snapdragon Gen 1 that I could find right now, is always going to be the play. If you're watching this video in like 2027 or something like that, don't look for this phone. Look for one with like the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. At that point, hopefully those will be like around that price too, and those have even better performance than this. But yeah, getting a nice used $100 to $120 Android phone with a solid Snapdragon processor in it, along with one of these controllers, great idea. Another phone that I saw him recommend on the channel was a Samsung Galaxy S20 Fan Edition. That one has the Snapdragon 865, which is the same processor as the Retroid Pocket 5, and you can get that for probably $75, $80. And like I said, my tablet has that one too. So there's a lot of phones out there that have the 865. I'd recommend getting something faster, but if you're, on a budget, $60, $70, you can probably reasonably find a phone with the 865, and now you have something that's pretty much at parity with the Retroid Pocket 5. So with all that being said, yeah, hope you guys have a great day. Just wanted to get on here and rant about that because I was pretty excited about this, pretty excited about the performance, and yeah,